Good afternoon to everyone. Today I will explain about law of diminishing marginal utility. Today I will explain about law of diminishing marginal utility. It is given by Marshall. It is given by Marshall. If other things being equal, if other things being equal, marginal utility derived from successive units of commodity goes on decreasing. Marginal utility of derived from successive units goes on decreasing. Suppose we have more of the thing, less we want it. Less of the thing, more we will want it. Because every successive unit gives less and less satisfaction. It is given by Marshall. Law of diminishing marginality is given by Marshall. Marginal utility. It is the difference between total utility of succeeding unit minus total utility of preceding unit. Difference between total utility of succeeding unit and total utility of preceding unit. Total utility. Sum of the total utilities obtained by consumer from different goods, from different units of commodity. Next slide. Assumptions of law of diminishing marginal utility. Single commodity, and it is having the homogeneous units, similar units, 1 kg, 2 kg, 3 kg, like that. Consumer do not have any change in the taste, habit, custom, fashion, and income. Consumer do not change in the taste, habit, custom, fashion, and income. Continuity in the consumption. That means within the given time, suppose 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, like that. After 1 day or after 2 days, we will not consume. We have not consumed that product. Continuity is compulsory. Commodity should be in suitable size. That is not bigger, not lesser. It is in suitable size. Prices of the commodity and substitutes are similar. Prices of that commodities and substitutes are similar, same. The commodity should be divisible. Commodity should be divisible. Consumer must be an economic man and who acts rationally. He is having the character rationality. He is a rational person and economic man. Irrational person, he is not comes under law of diminishing marginal utility. Goods should be normal goods. Goods should be normal goods. Abnormal goods are not included in this law. Next slide. Schedule showing the marginal utility and total utility. Schedule showing the marginal utility and total utility. Total utility, that is law of diminishing marginal utility, explained with the help of this table. This is units of the apples consumed, total utility in units, marginal utility in units. Suppose a person consumed 0 apples, he will get the 0 total utility and 0 marginal utility. Whereas he consumed 1 unit, he will get the 7 units total utility and 7 units marginal utility. Suppose he consumed 2 units, total utility increases from 7 units to 11 units, and whereas marginal utility decreases from 7 units to 4 units. Suppose he consumed third apple, total utility increases from 11 units to 13 units, whereas marginal utility decreasing from 4 units to 2 units. Marginal utility equal total utility of succeeding unit minus total utility of preceding unit. Total utility of succeeding unit is 11 units and total utility of the preceding unit is 7 units. Total utility of the succeeding unit minus total utility of the preceding unit, then we will get the marginal utility. Fourth apple. Suppose he consumed fourth apple. It is the same case with the third. Suppose he consumed the fifth apple. Total utility does not change. That is from 14 units to 14 units only. Marginal utility is decreases from 1 to 0. Marginal utility decreases from 1 to 0. After the consumption of the fifth apple, suppose he consumed sixth apple, that is total utility decreases. Total utility decreases from 14 units to 13 units. And marginal utility is declines, that is 0 units to negative, that is -1. Next slide. Next. This law of diminishing marginal utility is explained with the help of this graph also. This is total utility graph. This is marginal utility graph. Suppose first consumed, he got the 7 units of the total utility. Second unit, he got the 11 units of total utility. Next, at the time of third apple consumption, he got satisfaction or he got total utility is 13 units. At the case, at the time of fourth unit, he got the satisfaction or total utility of the 14 units. This is the fifth unit consumption also, he got only 15 units. Sorry, 14 units. After that, total utility decreases from 14 units to 13 units. Up to M, TU is increasing. After that, it is decreasing. It is the maximum total utility. That is at the time of fifth apple consumption. Whereas marginal utility plotted in a graph, it falls down. It falls like this. First apple consumption, he got 7 units of total marginal utility. Next 4 units. Next 2 units. Next 1 unit. At the time of the fifth apple consumption, he got marginal utility is 0. Suppose total utility is maximum, then that time marginal utility is 0. After the fifth apple consumption, at the time of the sixth apple consumption, marginal utility decreases from 0 to -1. Once again, I am explaining about that curve, that graph. That is, total utility starts from the origin, 0 consumption of the apples. We will see. This is the total utility starts from the 0 consumption, the 0 utility, that is 0 utility and 0 apple consumption. Total utility reaches maximum. Total utility reaches maximum. Mu is the 0. Mu curve falls throughout the graph. Marginal utility curve falls throughout the graph. A special point occurs when he consumes fifth apple. That is, marginal utility does not change. That is 0 utility. After that, marginal utility declines. That is 0 to negative units. Marginal utility of A equal to total utility of A minus total utility of A minus 1. Succeeding unit and preceding one. A is the succeeding unit, A minus 1 is the preceding unit. What is the importance of the law? What is the importance of the law of diminishing marginal utility? It is the basic law of consumption. LDMU is the basic law of consumption. Law of consumer surplus, law of equimarginal utility, law of equimarginal utility, and law of demand all are based on this law only. Law of consumption, sorry, law of equimarginal utility, law of consumer surplus, law of demand, all are based on the LDMU only. This law explains the value theory. This law LDMU explains the value theory. Suppose price of the commodity falls, supply increases. Price of the commodity falls, supply increases. It is because the stock of the commodity increases, whereas marginal utility diminishes. It is because the stock of a commodity increases with the marginal utility diminishes. Famous diamond water paradox. Famous diamond water paradox, which is given by Smith, is also explained with the help of LDMU, that is, law of diminishing marginal utility. Famous diamond water paradox, which is given by the Smith, is also explained with the help of LDMU. Suppose we have taken diamonds. These are very scarce and very limited. So they possess high marginal utility and higher price. Whereas water is relatively abundant and plenty. So it has low marginal utility and lower price. It has, whereas water is abundant and it has low marginal utility, lower price, even though total utility is high. Principle of the progressive taxation. Principle of the progressive taxation is also explained or is based on the law of diminishing marginal utility only. Suppose a person's income increases, tax rises with the whereas marginal utility diminishes. Suppose a person's income increases, tax rises because marginal utility is diminishes or decreases. Exceptions of the LDMU. Exceptions of the law of diminishing marginal utility. Hobbies, drunkards, measure, reading. Suppose coin collection, old coin collection is a hobby. Suppose he is getting more and more coins. His pleasure is increases. His marginal utility is increases. His satisfaction is increases. Drunkard is there. He consumes more and more liquor that will give us more pleasure, more utility, and more satisfaction. These are the exceptions of LDMU. Measure is there. Suppose he is getting more and more money, he is getting more and more satisfaction and more utility. Reading. The reading habit useful to increase the knowledge. Suppose we have read more books, will our knowledge will increases. That means reading books or reading increases the satisfaction is also increases and knowledge increases, utility marginal utility is increases. These are the exceptions of law of diminishing marginal utility. I will summarize the points. I have explained what is the law of diminishing marginal utility, how with the help of the graph and with the help of the table, I have explained LDMU, what are the importance of LDMU, what are the limitations or what are the exceptions of the LDMU, I have explained. Thank you. If you like this video, please share and subscribe. Don't forget to comment also.